All right, everyone, welcome to a little bit of bonus content. I'm going to focus this short video on an eligible downfield player. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to cover in this short video. First of all, we're going to talk about what the rule says. We'll also talk about what the philosophies are. Fortunately, with a rule change, now the rule and the philosophies are in line, so we won't spend a lot of time on that. Talk about what the mechanics are and some tips to get these plays right. And then we'll take a look at some plays for review where I'll talk through some processes on things. So let's talk about an eligible receiver downfield, which is 7-3-10. No originally ineligible receiver shall be or have been more than 3 yards beyond the neutral zone until a passer throws a legal forward pass that crosses the neutral zone. A player is in violation of this rule if any part of his body is beyond the 3-yard limit. So there are a couple things to consider there. First of all, remember a player has to be eligible by both number and position. So if a tight end, say number 85, is covered by another player outside of him on the line of scrimmage, then 85 would fall into this rule for an eligible receiver downfield. Similarly, if offensive tackle number 74 were on the end of his line, even though he was on the end of the line by being number 74, he is similarly restricted. This is the new exception that came in the rules last year that now brings the rule in line with the philosophy, and that exception is if the passer is legally throwing the ball away and the ball lands near or beyond the sideline, there is no foul for an eligible receiver downfield. He can't ground the ball into the middle of the field, but if the passer grounds the ball legally beyond the sideline or near the sideline, we would not have a flag down for that. We'll take a look at a play with that example here in a minute. Remember, the penalty is 5 yards in the previous spot. It does not include a loss of down, and it is always from the previous spot again. This is a situation where the description of the penalty includes the enforcement spot. So let's talk about some mechanical tips that will help the line of scrimmage officials specifically get these plays right. Get in the habit of reminding yourself about the important lines as part of your pre-snap routine. One of the things that I've been working on over the last couple of years is to remind myself what the line of scrimmage is, what the 3 yards from there is for IDP, what 5 yards from there is for blocking below the waist, and also what the line to gain is. So if I were standing on the line of scrimmage and we were at the 31 and we were going to the 41, I'd think to myself, all right, first down, 31, going to the 41. I've taken care of the line of scrimmage and the line to gain. I also need to know that 34 is my threshold for IDP, and the 36 is my threshold for blocking below the waist. Generally speaking, and these mechanics now apply to my group, do whatever your supervisor wants you to do. But if I'm the headline judge and I read pass and my key releases, I generally try to flow to about 3 yards so I'm in the right position. Either if I am the backside official, I am standing on that 3 yard threshold so I can more easily judge whether a lineman has crossed my face or not. Or if I'm the play side official, then the line judge can try to use me as a visual reference point. There is an exception to that for us in trips. If trips are to the line judge side, then the head line judge holds the line of scrimmage and the line judge flows as is necessary. Also, sometimes in trips, if my receiver goes downfield and I'm the headline judge, I may flow beyond 3 yards if necessary. But I try to keep that 3 yard limit in my mind. Some other hints that you can use to get these plays right include, remember, it's all about timing. If the timing of a play is messed up, the linemen tend to get downfield before the pass is released. So if there's any reason that the timing is messed up at all, be on the lookout for potential IDP plays. Additionally, if the quarterback's initial read is covered and the quarterback then has to go to their second or third option, the linemen tend to drift downfield. So keep those two things in mind. Also, if the quarterback ever breaks the pocket, we have to start surveying the field from the backside to watch for linemen downfield. If the quarterback tucks it and runs, we have no concern. But if he pulls up and passes, and that pass goes beyond the line of scrimmage, we know that we have to be on the lookout for IDP. If we have run-pass option plays, those are tough. Sometimes the ball's out before we read pass. The key thing to remember in all of these plays is if you're not certain that the lineman is beyond 3 yards, don't put your flag down. No calls are generally better than incorrect calls. I'll show you some examples of that here in a minute as well. So as this play comes together, we have to start thinking about our important lines. We're snapping the ball from the -29, so in our minds, we put the -32 in our mind for ineligibles downfield. And you'll see as the quarterback takes the snap, he clearly wants to throw a screen pass in this area, but it's well covered by the defense. So now these linemen, who are going to be prepared to lead block on a screen and run, they're going to continue to drift downfield. You can see here, we've got a couple of them who've passed beyond the limit. So now we need to keep that in mind, because if the quarterback throws a pass across the line of scrimmage, we have fouls for IDP on a couple of players. But quarterback continues his process. He's flush from the pocket. He illegally grounds the ball. As a result of that, we have no foul for ineligibles downfield because, as the exception to the rule states, we don't have a foul here if the quarterback legally grounds the ball outside the tackle box and out of bounds. So no foul in this play for IDP. On this play, we're going to see an incorrect call for ineligible downfield. We're going to look at this side of the formation here. As you can see on the play, the quarterback is going to roll to his right, and when he releases the pass, ball's already gone. When he releases the pass, the lineman is at about 2.5 yards downfield. However, when the pass crosses the line and is touched, the lineman's now at 4. The important thing to remember is that the rule, we're concerned about where the lineman is when the pass is released, not when it crosses the line. So the head linesman here picks this player up late and incorrectly throws a flag for an eligible receiver downfield. Again, this is an incorrect call because we need to make sure we're getting it when the pass is released and not when the pass crosses the line of scrimmage. So here we have a punt play, and punt plays can be tricky because we have to remember about our numbering exception players. This is why this play will illustrate why it's important that the line of scrimmage officials and the umpire have a good sense of who a team's normal interior line formations are, or the players are in those formations on punt plays. Because as you're going to see here, we have a busted punt play. Again, take note here of our line of scrimmage being the minus 32. So the 35 is our IDP line. But team gets settled in. There's a snap. He fumbled this. He muffed the snap. So now you'll see here we've got 2 players who've already released beyond our IDP line. Now maybe we don't know where these guys came from. Was this a back? Was this a lineman? Not entirely clear all the time. But as the play continues, you'll see we've got, as the pass is about to be thrown, not only those 2 players, but a couple of other players have come downfield. This is all kinds of trouble here for us. The pass is thrown in the direction of one of these players. We could have questions as to whether or not that was an illegal touch, if that was an ineligible player. But as a result, we rule incomplete pass. But if you go back to the start of that play, that player that pass was thrown to was the right tackle. So we should have had a flag down here for ineligible downfield. And it's important, again, this is why it's important to note what the formations are when teams come out on special teams, so we can hopefully have a sense of where our numbering exception players are. So in this play, we're snapping from the minus 20. So again, minus 23 is our IDP line. We're going to see here a play action pass. And the left tackle gets out real fast. You'll see he's already past the 23. And we officiate the philosophy here, at least in my leagues, is if we treat that 3 yards like a pane of glass. So if any part of the body is beyond that pane of glass, they've gone more than the 3 yards. You see the quarterback still has the ball. And when the pass is released, you can see the tackle kind of diving back toward the line of scrimmage to make a block. This player sometimes can get trapped in the wash of players, but we've got to do a better job of trying to find our focus and expanding our field of vision here to try to find these linemen so we can get these plays right. So in this play, we're snapping from the minus 47, which is helpful because it means we can use the big line of the 50 as our IDP line. And you'll see here as the motion completes that the center is going to go into the second level and engaging with the linebacker. When he does that, and he's clearly beyond the 50, and here he's past the 50-yard line engaged. The quarterback's just now releasing the ball, so he's downfield. He's an ineligible downfield. H picks it up, and we pick this play up correctly. Happened to be offset by a defensive hold, but we got that part of the play correct. Sometimes we're in situations where the play side official can get it, Here you're going to see we're snapping at the plus 32, so the plus 29 is our magic line. You see the left tackle fire out, start to pursue into the second level. You can see he chasing down this linebacker right before the ball's out. Quarterback releases, he's downfield, and you'll see the play side official can get this because when it's that apparent, sometimes we are fortunate that the play side official can get it instead of the backside official. Usually those flags will come from the backside. This play illustrates some of the things I mentioned earlier about H getting to 3 yards when it's possible, and it also demonstrates a good flag from the umpire and the line judge here. You'll see right now, as the play is developed and the H's key releases, the H gets from the line of scrimmage at the minus 34 to the IDP zone line at the 37. And as the play breaks down, you saw the quarterback roll out of the pocket. That extended the play, as we talked about earlier in the tips. The longer the play goes, the more it breaks down, the more likely to have a problem. And you can see we've got an offensive lineman here beyond the 37-yard line. Continues to go downfield, pass is thrown. We get a flag from at least the umpire, I believe, and also the line judge on this play for IDP. Here's a play where a team comes out and lines up incorrectly. You're going to notice they have a tight end on, and the receiver comes out and indicates to the head line judge that he wants to be on the line of scrimmage. Now, generally, if there's a blade of grass, we will put players where they want to be. As you can see here, based on the backside of the formation, we've only got 3 backs. They probably want 4. I suspect this receiver wants to be off the line, but he came out and told us he wanted to be on. There's not a whole lot we can do about that when they say that they want to be on. So you'll see here as the play develops that the tight end is going to go downfield into a pattern. In addition to that, tight end releasing when he was covered or was ruled covered. You can see this player, this offensive lineman, quarterback still got the ball. This offensive lineman here has also gone downfield beyond our threshold for IDP. So, and that pass does cross the line. So you'll see the H drops a flag and the U drops a flag, both for ineligibles downfield. And here's the last play I'm going to show to discuss, but you can see here where communication is key. We just watched a team shift their formation back to a balanced line. They went from unbalanced to balanced. We were snapping here at the plus 16-yard line, so we use the 13-yard line as our important line for IDP. Again, this is an RPO. Quarterback might run. Now he decides to pass. You'll notice when he passes, we've got all kinds of players that are way downfield here, and the umpire correctly throws a flag. However, when there was some discussion after the play about the pass not being beyond line of scrimmage, but as you can see here, back on that pass is touched, it's clearly touched at the 15-yard line or beyond, which would put it a full yard or more beyond. The head linesman here incorrectly moved off the line because he thought he was going to be threatened by this player coming right at him. If he holds his position, he's probably in a better spot to go into the conversation with the other officials and say, no, that pass was clearly beyond, so we incorrectly picked up the flag. It's worth noting that the referee can announce things like there is no foul for an ineligible player downfield because the pass was ruled to not have crossed the line of scrimmage. That has the potential to get replay involved. But again, this is a play where we might need multiple officials to get together and have a conversation about what they saw and where the ball was touched so we can potentially put a flag down. Because we can also see this block going on downfield. And if we had put this ball beyond the line of scrimmage, it's possible that a downfield official might also have thrown for offensive pass interference. So this is a good play with a lot on it to take a look at. I hope you found these plays and this description of an eligible downfield player helpful. If you have any questions or comments or concerns you want to send my way, feel free to email me at nursancAAFB@gmail.com. Thanks a lot.